Leaks, peaks, and more consolidation. That's what I have for you. And today is Good Morning Mario and Good Morning Switch fans. Hope you're all doing epic out there. I've had a fantastic morning thus far because I've been playing Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. I will be going live frequently this week, streaming more and more of the game. I'll be giving my impressions in this video in case you don't want to watch the streams. And we'll be talking about the latest rumor for new Switch 2 games, as well as what we've got going on with consolidation in the video game industry, but in a different kind of avenue. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you more than you know. Let's kick it off with Paper Mario, though. So Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door is out today in Australia. It's out tonight in America, and it is beautiful. The game looks luscious. The game plays wonderfully. It is 30 frames per second, but thus far, I don't really mind. Now, we do have a tech breakdown of the game, and you might find it a bit disappointing, but let me assure you, the game looks marvelous. The graphics have been dolled up to perfection, and I think the way they've added new lighting, the way they've rebuilt the geometry, the way that they've made the UI, it shines. Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door feels like a modern Mario title relaunching for the first time, even though this game is 20 years old. So it is running at 900p while docked and 640p in handheld mode, which is really kind of lackluster. Can't crack 1080 docked, can't crack 720 handheld, can't crack 30 frames per second. It's stuck in the past. And it really makes me believe, as I mentioned on my stream, that I think this game was initially supposed to be a launch window title for Switch 2. Like a nice, great game, a remake coming back for the Switch 2. That's why there's the colored buttons for all the button prompts, probably ties into the next Joy-Con. That's why this game is 30, because they were building it to run on far more powerful hardware. And if you look at the list of what they've done here, there is no frame rate dips. They did 3D replacements for 2D sprites. There's screen space reflections. They gave wood, grass, stone a glossy sheen, ambient shading, more detailed shadow maps, light shafts. Like, they really, really did quite a bit to make this the best version of the game possible and to make it look very nice. And therefore, it seems like it's stuck in 30 frames per second because the Switch itself is stuck in the mud. Nonetheless, I've had a blast with the game thus far. I'm going to be diving headfirst into more content for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. If you've never played it, I fully recommend it. If you played it before, I think it looks better enough and will be charming enough 20 years later to win you over once more. So Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, thus far, my early impressions and review are 30 frames per second is a bummer on paper. Doesn't seem to really impact me all that much in play. I think the game looks way better than I anticipated, even if the technical numbers aren't impressive. And the humor, the story, the combat, the UI, the characters, it's all just brilliant. Now, what's less brilliant is IGN buying up a ton of other video game websites and publications. We know that plenty of game companies have consolidated, big conglomerates buy up all sorts of studios, unify them together in a move that's supposed to bring the gaming industry more goodness, but oftentimes it just creates problems. And perhaps this will create problems as well, because one of the main sites that we use, that I frequent for Nintendo content, is being gobbled up in this process. So IGN Entertainment has acquired GameIndustry.biz, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, VG247, Dicebreaker, Outside Xbox, Digital Foundry, Nintendo Life, Push Square, Pure Xbox, and Time Extension. They've acquired a ton of things, and grabbing them all together will cause trouble. It already has. There's been redundancies because now that they're all under the same umbrella, they've let people go. I believe that most of these will still operate independently, though who's to say that they don't close them down, combine them, move them around, take the Nintendo Life people and make them right for IGN, take the Push Square people and make them right for Eurogamer. Like, who knows how this is going to work, but it is a strange consolidation, and it seems like the general response to this is yuck. Big company IGN, who, I think they do good work. I don't have a problem with IGN normally. I think they're fine. They're like the most well-known video game website. I don't go to them as my first source for reviews, but they do provide, a lot of generic, I would say, or more generic video game content, and they're well-known across the globe. This, though, is them acquiring a lot more niche and smaller websites that I think have a far stronger following and have a far stronger connection with their audience, and I hope that they realize that and don't make them lose it. It's a bummer to see all of these companies be gobbled up. I would hope and want for it to bring fruitful results to all of them, but the fact of the matter is it probably just won't. There's already been layoffs. Some will be shuttered probably entirely, and yeah, gaming industry just continues to be very bizarre. Heart goes out to anybody laid off today, and hopefully the changes and the new way of working ends up working out for the best. There's always a chance that things could turn out great, even though consolidation typically is poopy. What's not poopy, though, is Kingdom Hearts 4 on Switch 2. This comes from reliable leaker Midori, who just continues to pour out information. I feel like since the Switch 2 was officially confirmed by Nintendo as like, hey, we've got next hardware, it's coming, Midori's just been giving it to us. Square Enix has converted over to more multi-platform focus, and it seems like that means Nintendo will be a big recipient of their upcoming titles. Midori says the entire series of Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 4 might come to the next Nintendo hardware, which is pretty darn great. We already know that they're going to be bringing a lot of titles to Nintendo Switch 2 from all sorts of third parties, but Kingdom Hearts 4 is a brand new game. And like we talked about yesterday with the Shiver acquisition, Nintendo is clearly lining up to make sure that ports come out day and date and come out strong on Switch 2. Maybe Shiver will even help with Kingdom Hearts 4, you never know. And while this is no sort of confirmation, while this is a rumor, and sure, take it with a grain of salt, Midori has been very accurate in the past, and it wouldn't surprise me if so many of Square's properties end up on Switch, if not all of them. Right? Like, we're going to have to wait till the next console for this to take root, and obviously Kingdom Hearts has a yucky taste in our mouth with its current iteration on Switch being cloud versions that started off abysmally, got a little better with updates, but still aren't great. Cloud versions are never the move, but if they bring back the entire series, that would be inevitably cartridge, right? That would be like an entire series on Switch 2 natively, which would be great. And then Kingdom Hearts 4 coming as well, which would also be phenomenal. And if they can get that day and date, it can release on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. A lot more opportunity for people to play Kingdom Hearts, and hopefully a great fun time on Switch 2 that runs well and plays well. Midori will continue probably to drop information on Switch 2 launch titles, Switch 2 launch window titles, and future plans from these companies. But right now, I guess it's like safe to say everything Square Enix is going to come to Switch. It's a big reason why Nintendo stock has been rising as of late, and Square Enix is going to see a lot of good come from this, not only from fan mindshare, but also from sales. Their sales will inevitably grow by no longer being exclusive, and it seems like even being exclusive just wasn't working out so well for them. They weren't getting the benefits of being exclusive, so let's try something different for the next few years. And considering it involves Nintendo and a much more powerful Nintendo console, I think this is going to pan out very well for them. And it interestingly leads into what we've got next on the agenda, which is the next Nintendo Direct. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is now out. Obviously, we'll be covering that in a full capacity, and I'm sure there will be more things that pop up along the way. But before we get to Luigi's Mansion 2, Nintendo's next release, we should have plenty more announcements. We should have a full June General Direct with lots of announcements that fill in the rest of the year. And a lot of people are talking about how this has been such a light year for Nintendo. It's been such a disappointing year for Nintendo. It's been such a strange year for Nintendo. It's been a year full of remakes. Let's just on all of that and wait until we get this big Direct. The big Direct then can speak for itself. If they don't have a ton of awesome first-party titles, if they don't have some brand new bold games that can serve as tentpoles for the holiday season, then we can critique. But right now, we've got some great remakes, some nice niche smaller titles, and the potential for still an epic second half of the year. So let's TBD on what we think about Nintendo's poor 2024. Right now, Paper Mario has me riding super high. The game is amazing. I highly recommend it. I think it is totally worth the value. And we'll see what Nintendo does with a Direct as soon as 10 days away and as long as 40 days away. But I'm sure it'll come out before Luigi's Mansion 2 at the end of the month. So it's got to be probably like Summer Games Fest at the 7th, maybe the next week or even 2 weeks after. Probably the 2nd or 3rd week of June is the likely guess for the next Nintendo Direct. But until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the IGN consolidation. If you're planning to pick up Paper Mario, if you're going to check out my streams, and if you buy Kingdom Hearts 4 on the next Switch console. Until then, though, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.